Amazing. Hello and welcome to A Curious Coach. It is an honour, Marla, to have you with me today. And I'm just going to pass it straight over to you to introduce who you are and just tell us a little bit about your story.
Thank you, Sarah, for inviting me to this platform. I'm very happy to be here with you and happy to be sharing my story, my personal story, my professional story, and what my life has been about like. I speak a lot. I love to speak. So if I go off the tangent, please do check me out. I'm Mala. I live in India and I'm a sociologist by training. And it's just that I love to meet people and try to know about their behavior, about their conduct, about their attitudes, about their perspectives on life, on their own self and people around them. So I work in the community because I love people. And I'm always, trying to or planning to affect people's lives directly. Whether it is improvement in the quality of life, whether it is giving them resources, sharing or, improving their physical conditions of life. I try to contribute, give my bit to it.
That's beautiful. And I've been fortunate enough to connect with you off of this platform as well. And I think one thing that really captured my attention when we were talking was your true passion for showing people to really believe in who they are and how they can better themselves. And that really shone through as you were talking. And I'd love you to just tell me a little bit more about where that stemmed from, I guess. You're now working within these communities on a holistic approach, correct me if I've misunderstood, but what led you to going into that? Where did that passion come from?
Yeah, Sarah, it's a very long story, but to cut it short, I owe a lot to my bringing up. I belong to a family which migrated from Punjab to Delhi because my father was in the government job. He worked in the Red Cross Society. Red Cross, they are always there for people in distress. So my father had that bent of mind to help others, to contribute to others' life. Then my mother was a homemaker who was very, very much attached to us. We were 5 children, 2 brothers and 3 sisters. And my parents were the self-made people, who didn't accept even a single penny from their families they came from. And it was their hard work and dedication to their children that each one of us, studied a lot in life. Because for my parents, it was the education, formal education, which was the key to success. He kept everything aside and he said it has to be the formal education. Once our children are formally educated, we are happy because that means they have achieved everything in life. So though they were conventional in their thinking, but at the same time, they were very forward-looking when it concerned their children. So we were fortunate, we could study what we wanted to. We were 3 sisters. And my mother always used to say, look, I have been a homemaker throughout my life. Yes, that's a very important role, but I want you to take up more important role in your life. You have to be prepared for greater responsibilities, more work, greater work role, And that's what, was ingrained in our minds when we were small. And being the youngest one in the family, I was a pampered lot. I was pampered so much, by the elder members of my family that, I became very, very self-confident. I developed a personality of my own. And when I, grew up, I got into adolescence, I attained the youth, I realized that yes, I was a very strong person and I could fight with anybody. So a lot went to that leadership thing, that ability to speak, ability to put your point across came from my family. I think they play a very important role in in what I am today. Yeah.
It is beautiful, and the passion shines through as you speak. It's very clear what they mean to you as individuals and as a collective, as a family, the power that they filled you with. And I suppose that gets me questioning, in terms of you being able to build that personality of your own, of being a strong woman and really standing up for what you believe in. Have there been any major challenges that you've faced because you've been able to really allow that personality to shine through? You've come through a supportive family who have told you to own who you are. What challenges have you faced by being able to do that?
A lot, immense challenges. I mean, if I start counting them, I won't be able to count them on my fingers. There were so many, because I always questioned. I never took things as they existed. And people around me were always confused. Why is it, being a girl, she is asking us this question? Okay, I'm a girl, so I should be sitting in a particular manner. I used to say, why? Why can't I sit like my friend can sit? Yeah. Okay, you are a girl, so you'll be getting married at a proper age, and the age in India is 20, 21, or maybe less than that, or 23. I said, why do I have to marry early? Then after marriage, it was expected that I will change my maiden's name. I said, why should I change my maiden's name? Because all my educational degrees carry my maiden name. So why should I change my maiden name? So many times, I asked these basic questions to the people around me, whether it was my friend circle, whether it was my relatives, or whether there were people around me. And they were always like, Mala is different. And, so many very interesting things. After marriage, the husbands of my friends never liked me, because they said that I will teach their wife wrong.
Wow.
I will teach their wife how to confront the husband. And it's not that when I confronted my in-laws or my husband after marriage, I was given a thing on the platter. No, I had to many a times surrender myself also, because marriage, is a social institution which has a lot of liabilities also. It's not that bed of roses alone. It has a lot of liabilities on you. So I had to surrender at my times. During those times, I fought within myself. What am I doing? So what I used to do, whenever such a thing happened, I used to write. And that writing gave me strength, that inner strength. And today when I read my documentation, I laugh at it. So a lot of challenges were from the environment around.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's incredible. And I just want to catch what you were saying there, because there's going to be people listening who don't relate because their cultural or environments don't put them under the same level of pressure. But there's also going to be a lot of people who are like, wow, okay, yeah, I so connect with what you're saying. This is the culture that I'm from and the society that I'm from. And it's so powerful to have a woman speak so confidently about the power of speaking up and asking questions, but to also balance it out and say, well, we do have to keep the balance, and there's ways that we can channel that energy. And I suppose what I'm curious about is, what, if you don't mind sharing, when you look back at what you've written, what is it that makes you laugh when you read it? Is there something that stands out?
Both. I laugh as well as I really wonder that this is how you have gone through the journey of life. These were the steps that you actually got over, while you were growing, matured. I have a problem here, Sarah. People often say to me that I'm not matured. I think I'm very matured. If they don't agree with the way I think, that doesn't mean that I'm not matured. Yeah, I want to live the life of my own. I believe in one basic concept, which is freedom, liberty. I would not like somebody to come and dictate their terms to me. Yeah, I know that what I'm doing makes me happy. And I know that what I'm doing is what I've been wanting to do. So how come that the society comes or the people come and tell me, no, Mala, this is wrong. This is not the way you should be thinking. You should be thinking the other way. Am I harming the society? Am I harming somebody with how I work and how I think? When I don't, then nobody has the guts or nobody should have the courage to come and say to me that, Mala, you are wrong. Yes, if I'm harming somebody, no problems. I will retreat. I will go back. But if not, I'm harmless. I'm just doing my work. It's just that I don't want anybody to come and pressurize me for anything. So it's a both the things, So I laugh that, okay, when you were 30 years old, this is how you went through it. Many times, I read it with my husband and I tell him that, look, this is how I used to think at that time. And I wonder how girls cope up. Because see, in my generation, I was a fortunate one that I was never forced into anything. I was fortunate. I was a privileged member of my family, right? I was very, very privileged. I am emphasizing that. But not all girls were. They had to buckle under the family pressure. Their process of socialization was very different. They were always forced into compliances, So if at all my family came up and told me to comply, they knew that they have told it. Now it's up to Mala to whether cross that boundary or not. So that was a taken thing. Yeah. So I actually, it's a very mixed kind of a feeling when I look back.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible listening to you. And, as a privileged woman in my society, I've learned so much just listening to you in that a long story cut short. So thank you so much. And it's so empowering to listen to someone who can inspire others to really believe in themselves. And again, it's taken into consideration that it is a privilege to have family that support you. And I suppose I'd love to know, out of all those challenges and awareness that, yes, your setup, your family was supportive as well, what have been the greatest successes? I mean, what's coming through to me right now is the message that, yeah, things are difficult, but if you truly believe in something, you can go for it. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. You are going to be faced with challenges. What would you say your greatest successes have been when it comes to inspiring individuals? Because I can't believe that we're sitting here and you don't have an impact on people around you, just on a family basis up to strangers. So what would you say one of your greatest successes by following and believing in yourself has been?
I think the greatest success of my life is the consistent moving on that I have been, feeling and that I'm doing all this while. I never stopped. There had been many hindrances. I used to feel sorry for myself at times, but then after 5 minutes, I used to say, why? Let me find its solution. So I always looked worked within the framework of a problem and solution. So for me, a problem never remained a problem. And it was a very, very conscious decision at one point of my life where I decided that I'm a people's person and I'm going to work for people with people. So today, I'm not only working in the community, I'm a trainer, I'm a researcher, and I interact with people. So I wear a lot of hats. It was in 2000, the year 2004, where I said, look, I have to start my own journey. And this journey is going to be that I will establish an organization. I would work through an organization. So, I got together with the like-minded people and we established this organization, Social and Development Research and Action Group. And since then, since 2004, there has been no looking back. I think that has been the major success of my life. Consistency, consistent efforts. And that's what I keep telling everybody, the youth around me. I engage with youth in studying in the universities, in colleges, and I always tell them, one, believe in yourself. Second, never give up. Can you believe, Sarah? I got 48% in my high school. 48%, just 48%. I had science subjects and I was a proud science student, but I couldn't cope up with science students. So later on in life, I was responsible for my own decision making when I chose the subject sociology, because this was one subject I could relate to. So life is a long journey, right from childhood to your adulthood and later on. You make choices. If you are not confident, you will not make those beautiful choices. If you keep asking others, your choices will not be beautiful, is what I think.
Well, I'm just sitting here and I am so inspired. Your energy is just coming through the screen to me right now. And again, just to explore, because I'm fascinated by your story. And again, if you don't mind sharing, what was the turning point in 2004 for you to go, I need to go on this journey. This is the journey I'm going to go on so that I can work in the community on a level that I know I can, and that's your next step?
Yeah, a few things happened. I was married at that time and we had shifted to Delhi. I worked in some organizations. The experiences were very, very tightly compartmentalized. And being a person who believes in self, I couldn't, maybe relate to it. Those bindings on me, bindings on my thought process, on my thinking. And people, when there were a few instances where I felt cheated. And that's one thing I just can't stand in my life, any kind of dishonesty. Be what you are. Don't pretend what you are not. So, those were the few things. I was watching a movie in a picture hall, cinema hall. And there, while watching the movie, I said, what are you doing with your life? Why can't you just decide something where will be happier? So, and how can you tolerate people being dishonest with you? No, you will never be happy like that. So I talked with myself. It was a lot of self-talking. And after the movie I don't know what the movie was about, because I was constantly thinking about, planning and contemplating these thoughts. And after the movie was over, I came out and I disclosed it to everybody. I announced it that, wow, from today, I'm on my own. And this is my conscious decision. I knew I will not earn money. I knew that, Sarah, very well. I knew that so well because I wanted to work through non-profit sector. But that was a very conscious decision. Money was never a factor which could have dissuaded me from what I wanted to do in my life.
Yeah. I mean, the message, and actually this is, let me just turn it onto a personal effect. I'm relating to a lot of what you're saying, and I suppose that's why the connection's been made. And just to listen that it was a conscious thought that happened, and you knew that the thought process was guiding you to this route of change needs to happen, and then you took that almighty leap, a conscious leap, that it's about following something that you love and that you're passionate about, rather than, well, the survival of money. Does that make sense? And I think we live in a world where we're so focused on the financial element that we forget to go for what we truly are passionate about. And you're living proof that when you go for something that you're passionate about, you can achieve something so much greater. And it's just an honor to hear you share that. I don't think you maybe realize the power of your story, and I hope that the listeners take away the same messages. And on that, I would love to know what you would say to individuals who may not be as privileged as yourself and myself, but have a passion, and they want to go for it, but they don't know how to break away from those chains, that intensity of society. What message would you give to those individuals?
My message to the youth, especially of today, is that there are limitless opportunities. Don't be afraid of challenges, because within the challenges only you will find opportunities. So if you are scared of challenges, you will never take the next step. Just take the plunge, because you believe in yourself, so you would definitely cross it. You know, there is that song by ABBA, which says, I am the eagle. I am a firm believer of that, that I am the eagle. I love the lyrics of that song. That gives me a lot of energy. Believe me, Sarah, I have never talked to anybody like this. The kind of things that I'm sharing with you, I've never done that in my life. I've always been giving professional talks. But this is the first time you have given me an opportunity to actually look within myself and talk about me as a person, as an individual. Now, taking a cue from my own self, I would like to tell everybody that believe yourself, have faith in you. Don't look for others, don't just look for others, for some kind of support, because their support will put bandages around you, and it will be very difficult for you to break away from those bandages. So be your own, be yourself, and take the plunge. You will definitely succeed in life. Success depends on two things. One is your own commitment, and second, your faith in you. Nothing else will determine success.
Wow. I mean, I'm sitting here, I could get all emotional, because it's an honor. It really is. I suppose if I was to, yeah, it's amazing. If I was to speak to you, say, in a year's time, what would you like to achieve moving forward? Well, yeah, in a year's time, I arranged to have this call with you again, and maybe one day we'll be sitting in the same room and being inspired by each other again. And what would you be saying?
I think I would be saying the same thing. By that time, maybe I'll be connected with more and more of today's youth. I'm very fond of youth. I have a lot of I trust them a lot. I mean, I have a lot of people working in our organization. I sit with each one of them. I try to read their minds. I try to pump in, some energy and some thing in them, so that because it is they who have to take the reins of life. Our generation is going. Now their generation has to take up from us. The only message that will never change, and I will never stop giving to others, is that don't give up. Never, ever give up. This is the message I give to my children, my own children too, and also to people around me. Anybody. The message is very clear: never give up in life. The hurdles will come and go. And later, when you cross the hurdles, you will laugh at those hurdles. What? That was the hurdle I was bothered about? Come on. With such ease, I could cross it. So just go on, don't stop. If one door closes, the other opportunity comes up. So many times it happened with me when I was young. I used to cry. Okay, this opportunity is gone. But just then I used to get another opportunity because I was constantly working. So don't stop working. That is the basic tenet of success. Never stop working. Work till the last breath. I saw my own father. He was going. We knew he was going. He was leaving this world. But he was signing the papers till his last breath. That's the kind of thing which I took from my father. And that's how I would like to leave this world.
And on that, I just think I keep saying inspiring. You have left me feeling all sorts of emotions, but positive ones. And I know that your message, your story will touch many hearts. And all I would like to say is keep speaking about your truth, your story, your journey, because I think in today's world, we don't share them enough. And I hope that the platform I've created enables yourself and others to come forward and just be as organic as possible, because that's where the answer of life is. And just to give courage to some incredible young people that are the next generation and just need that bit of belief in them, that they can just trust themselves and keep going. And thank you for your time. It has been an honour, and I can't wait, and it will happen. I know that the connection's for life now, and it'll be an honour to have you back on one day when the time's right.
Sure. Thank you very much for inviting me here and talking and sharing my inner thoughts with everybody. Yeah.
Thank you. And I just want to let everyone know that there will be all of Mala's details in the box below. So please feel free to reach out if you ever feel the need to connect, because it's definitely worth it all just for a powerful conversation. So thank you again. And guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, because we'd love to know your thoughts. Thank you again, Mala.
Thank you, Sarah.